What's up, guys? It's Survival Doggy. So, rotating food supply today. This tote's actually from October. Is when some stuff in here started going bad. The crackers. It's all actually still good, but the the expiration date of some of these products starts coming up in October. Usually, we'll get right on them and rotate them right away, but this year's been crazy. And we definitely didn't want to just use it and then replace it later. As crazy as everything's been, we want as much food on hand as possible. So I'm just now getting around to October's bin, and what we'll do, we'll keep a bin with just canned goods, and then we'll keep a bin with mixed supplies, and I'll keep various things. So here we've got baby wipes, spare belt. There's some tools that I'll pass from tote to tote. Stuff that I maybe don't use all the time that I just like to have on hand. Wicks for my lamps. Summer sausage. So everything I keep in here will stay good past the expiration date. I do that specifically for if anything happens, we're not opening this up to having a bunch of spoiled stuff in here. And what I kind of try to do is I look at, is this more of like a breakfast food? Is this a dinner food? Could it be used for both? And I just try to, no, this is water only. You don't even need eggs or anything for this. And I try to get stuff that we're going to eat anyway. Stuff I know that my family will use up. This isn't something that we will use up. This is actually Best Buy 5/26 of 22, so that's got quite the shelf life. And coffee, muffins, granola bars. These will need to be used up right away, and more new ones will need to be bought. You know, I keep various kinds of meat. There's salmon there, chicken. There should be beef in here somewhere. More chicken. And you know, I try to make this so that I can make different meals out of the same thing. You know, like rice can be used for lunch or dinner. Let's say we go out and catch some fish. Maybe we could take a couple cups of rice, can of beans, and the fish, throw it all together, stretch my food supply out a little bit more. One trick I've learned over the years, if you take venison, for people that don't like to eat venison, and you boil it until it's completely cooked, and then slow cook it in Bush's baked beans, you can really cover up that gamey taste and help people that don't have the palate for that wild game taste to be able to have a nutritional meal without getting sick and puking it all back up and then wasting it. Hand warmers, these will get rotated. Those pretty much get infinitely rotated until I go buy new ones. More chicken. Gatorade. This is more of like for a summertime type thing. If you're having to work really hard, you know, whatever, zombie apocalypse or grid crash, you're trying to tend your garden, whatever. This will give you the electrolytes, little stuff you got to replace. And another thing I like about the Gatorades, I use these ones the most for this particular use, is when I go camping backcountry, a lot of the time the taste of the water isn't all that great even after it's filtered. So throw some Gatorade in it and then you cover up that swampy taste. Makes it a little bit easier to digest. Stuff like this usually has to come out every time. April of 2021. So actually that could go into the March bin. March of 2021 bin. And basically we try to keep a year out. And there may not be a month's worth of food in each bin all the time. Sometimes there might be 3 weeks worth of food. Sometimes it might be a little more, a little less. But we try to keep 4 bins with every 3 months expiration dates coming up. And see, so another little thing I wanted to share with you guys. Buy this bone broth, and there's this soup called It's Delish. You can buy it on their website. And I boil the broth and the It's Delish together. This is super high in protein. This is all vegetables. There's no preservatives or nothing in it. It's just dehydrated. So this makes a good meal. And this right here will feed my family for a whole day. And then I'll have these left over depending on how many of us actually eat it. We didn't really care for the beef. The chicken is delicious. Real good. Tastes just like fresh chicken broth. There was one other thing. Oh, so when you say I have this many days or this many weeks worth of food, I think a lot of people don't really understand what that means to say you have that many days worth of food. You got to have 2,000 calories per day per person. And that's if you're not burning a bunch of energy doing whatever, fighting the zombie apocalypse, for instance. You know, if you're held up in a bunker underground, you're going to use a lot less calories than if you're above ground fighting zombies. So you got to account for that. You got to look at every single can, and you got to say how many calories are in here. Calories, 60 servings per container, about 3.5. So we can just say 200 calories right there. So you need 10 of these a day to get your 2,000 calories. You know, but then you don't have a very diverse diet. You're not getting a bunch of different things. So what I would do, I would take this and maybe cook it with the chicken and maybe throw some green beans in there and then make a couple cups of rice, and this could feed your family lunch and dinner both. If you're sitting still, not burning a lot of calories, you know, these with some rice, you could really stretch that out for most of the day. So in order to properly determine how many days worth of food you really have, you have to say how many people are in your house times 2,000 calories a day. My house is 4 people, so that's 8,000 calories a day times however many days you want that bin to last. And then that's how you figure out how many days worth of food you have. You can kind of guesstimate, like I just did with the chicken and the green beans and the rice. You can kind of say, yeah, this will feed us for about that long, but you need to know how many calories you're actually getting in those meals, especially if you're working hard. If you're working hard and you're burning energy, you got to be replacing that stuff. Keep your immune system up. Sardines. I thought there was some beef in this one. I bought a bunch of beef from Dollar General. Pinto beans. Black turtle beans. We got 4 things of honey down in here. These cans here. These cans are more chicken. And see, I keep different size cans as well, because like it's during wintertime in Michigan right now. So when I go to Michigan Home Guard training, if we're going to be eating lunch there that day, I'm going to want to just use one small can instead of burning up the big can that could feed the whole family. Pasta, gauze, spare gauze, a little piece of rope. I try to keep rope in these just in case I got to tie them down in my truck. And also these bins, these are super sturdy. You use 4 of these and the ratchet straps, and you can really just lock this thing right into place in the back of your truck. I usually have more MREs, but I'm getting low on them. And as you see, it's a variety of different things. I didn't go all freeze-dried. I have some freeze-dried. I didn't go all MREs. I didn't go all canned. I just try to keep a variety of things. Batteries for girlfriend's AR sight. Gauze pads. Dish soap. You're going to need to be able to clean your dishes. That's Vaseline cotton swabs. Magnesium fire starter. Mouse trap. Catch small birds, mice, whatever to eat. I also have big rat traps. I'll show you one of those real quick. I don't have any in here. I have the rat traps I did the same things with. You can catch chipmunks and squirrels. The bigger stuff, you got to keep an eye on it because they'll run off with your trap or escape from it. So that should kind of give everyone an idea of how I do mine. And I don't remember if I said this at the beginning of the video or not, but by doing it this way and having these totes, I spend a lot of time rotating and reading dates and having to mess with it to keep it up to date and cycled through and everything. And if I was to put all this on a shelf, I could cut my work time down a lot. But the reason why I like to keep everything in these totes is because if something happens, I grab one side, my girlfriend grabs the other side, right upstairs, right out to the vehicles, loaded up, we're ready to go. I don't have to spend the time unloading stuff off of a shelf and packing up. I can just grab this mug and go. And you know, like I said, depending on how much food there is, if I say there's definitely 3 weeks in each bin times 4 bins, that's 12 weeks worth of food right there. We just load it in our car, and I mean, we can probably do that in 5 minutes, I would guess, or less. So that's where I'm at with that. Just wanted to share this with everybody. Maybe people that aren't as familiar with prepping stuff, this will give them some ideas to head in. Thanks for watching. May the Republic stand strong. God bless America.